What's going on, everyone? So we got a couple reports in regards to Kevin Durant as well as Giannis Antetokounmpo. Jump into the Kevin Durant aspect of it because quick, brief, and short. I just thought this was kind of funny. So reports came out that Kevin Durant wants to retire a Houston Rocket, that he's going to work on a new extension later this summer. I mean, the guy's 37 years old, right? Like, I mean, how many more teams was he willing and looking to play for? Right? Even if he gets his next new contract. What is the plan? Like, hey, I'm going to play for Houston for 3 years and then I'm going to go elsewhere. I just thought that was kind of funny. But look, Houston got Kevin Durant at a very, very cheap price. There's a lot of talks about them potentially making a play to go land another star. And this is where this kind of ties in to the second part of this, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Giannis Antetokounmpo still could be traded. There's a lot of talks and reporting that, like, hey, the Bucks aren't out of the woods yet with Giannis. And the Houston Rockets are one of the teams that could go look to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo as well. They just signed Fred VanVleet to a new extension, but they have the salaries and the things and the players and the picks and everything that you could want to still go make a play for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And you could have Giannis and Kevin Durant and really go for this thing. Could you maybe even keep a Şengün in the deal? I don't know, probably not, but you never know, right? Or an Eason or some of these other guys that, kind of help fill out and round out the rotation in the roster. But no, the Kevin Durant scenario, I don't see him going anywhere beyond Houston. I think this is it. This is his last go around, last two Raw. He's probably there for 3 years or so. He'll probably play. I mean, Kevin Durant, look, if we're being honest, Kevin Durant could probably play till he's 45, 50, right? He's another LeBron, but just in a different manner, right? LeBron's just been, Iron Man. You look at a Kevin Durant, the guy's just, his skill set, he's just taller and longer than everybody and just so efficient shooting that basketball. He's not going to lose that anytime soon. It's not like ultra reliant on his athleticism or anything like that. So I do think Kevin Durant is a guy that could stick around for some time. But I think he signs a new contract with Houston, and then that'll be that. And then he'll probably retire at like 40, somewhere in that range. But he does love basketball. And look, he's a guy that even if he does start to really decline, he could always move into like that Ray Allen role where he's just kind of playing as like a guy off the bench that could just be a bucket getter for you. He could probably still go get you, 15, even at 50. But as far as Giannis goes, it appears what is going to happen is that Giannis is going to give the Bucks an opportunity here. That, he just out of the love for Milwaukee, he's going to give them an opportunity to see what moves can they make this offseason to put them in the best position possible to maybe contend for a championship, and then go to Giannis and say, all right, look, this is what we did for you. Now you got to stick around. My problem is I just don't see that path. Your other star is going to miss all of next season, right? And Damian Lillard. And at Damian Lillard's age, it's one thing when you're Tyrese Halliburton or any of these young guys, right? Even a Jason Tatum. Damian Lillard already isn't that guy. And he was already showing signs of decline. He already was a little rough and starting to get inconsistent and stuff and injury prone and all that. And now he's coming off of a significant Achilles tear, right? And chances of him coming back and being that guy again, I don't necessarily think that's realistic. Right? And he's still probably not coming back for a year. And they are in absolute purgatory. It's not like they have this abundance of pick. They're not OKC where it's like, man, we have like 15 first. Let's just go pony up for another star. And when Dame comes back, Dame comes back. All right, let's go get another guy, give Giannis a chance. Right? And I get it. Like, you look at the Eastern Conference, the East is wide open. Right? So, there is a sense of like, hey, Giannis, you should stay East. But I don't think that's with the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks are going to be able to go and get the pieces necessary for them to be, a top team. I think Giannis is going to end up either getting hurt because he's trying to do too much, try to carry this team over an 82-game season, or they're just going to be a play-in team or into the playoffs, and they're just going to be a first-round exit again. And look, if Giannis wants to go through that and wants to be that and he's okay with it, then fine. Right? But I don't even know if the organization should do that. Because the older he gets, and if he starts getting injury prone, the less you're going to get, right? Now might be the best time to trade for him because you're going to have teams that want to load up and you might get an insane return. You might get an insane package offer, right? So if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, it might not even be like, you might be better off just going to Giannis and being like, hey, buddy, we want you. We don't want you to leave. right? We need, but it's what's best. It's best for you. It's best for the organization, right? Like, I don't even think Milwaukee fans would care. I don't even think obviously Milwaukee fans want him to stay, but I think it obviously depends on the return you get, though, too. You end up selling him for pennies on the dollar. People might be upset. But I don't think anyone would blame Giannis. I think fans would understand and be like, dude, you brought us a championship. We're not doing right by you. Good luck. Right? Like, so again, this is something that Milwaukee, in a lot of ways, did this to themselves. They overpaid for guys. They overinvested into guys. Chris Middleton, they're giving him these insane contracts and all that stuff, overpaying for guys. They needed to get younger. And instead of getting younger, it's like, hey, let's go get a Damian Lillard. And I get, there was pressure by Giannis, right? But if instead of going and getting a name just to get a name to go, oh, look, we got this guy, right? They should have went and got the right pieces to put around Giannis and some of these other guys, kept to Drew Holiday. I mean, Drew Holiday was fantastic for them. I would have rather kept Drew Holiday and traded Chris Middleton, right? Because Drew Holiday was exactly what you need, especially alongside a Damian Lillard. Right? Having a Drew Holiday and Damian Lillard as your backcourt would have been so much better, right, than what they ended up having. But nonetheless, I think Giannis, it's time. It's that marriage that it's time to call it quits, right? It's just like both sides, they want to stay together. They love each other. They care, but both sides need to come to the realization that, like, hey, this is what's best for both of us, right? I get to move on. You get to move on. And look, if I'm the Bucks, I'm at like, hey, what teams do you want to go? Is there a team you prefer to go to? Do you want to go to Houston? Mate, do you want to go to in Orlando? Do you want to go to it? Do you want to stay east? Do you want to go west? How do you feel? Right? And you try your best to get him where he wants to go. Right? So that way you can do right by him. Obviously, you want to get the best return possible, but for a Giannis, you're going to get an insane return regardless. But I would ask him, like, hey, what are you gauging? Right? Where would you like to go? And obviously, hey, give me a list of a handful of teams just in case. But if he wants to go to Houston and you can just get the farm from Houston, then go get the farm from Houston and send him where he wants to go. Like, this doesn't have to be a bad breakup. But also, you don't want to get to the point where Giannis ends up. I don't think that he would. I want to be clear about that. I don't necessarily think that he would, but you never know. Right? You don't want to get to the point where Giannis starts to make things uncomfortable and things start to get public and things start to get, a little mucky. And now it's just like, and now teams are like, we got him. Right now you have no choice. You want to do it while both sides are on the same team, right? You want to do it while Giannis is playing ball with you and it has the emotion. Like, I really want to stay here. And it's just like, yeah. And again, if Giannis decides, like, hey, I want to stick around, like, that's why I think you need to have that conversation. Like, if Giannis goes, like, hey, I don't care, I just want to stay, then fine. Right? Hey, we gave him an out. We told him, hey, here's your chance. But it just seems like neither side wants to be the bad guy. Right? Like, Giannis doesn't want to be the bad guy and look like, oh, he's, letting all the fans down and everything like that. And Milwaukee doesn't want to be the guy that trades Giannis, right? And force Giannis out. Right? Because they don't want to be the bad guy. That's why I think you do it together. You do a press conference and you say, hey, us and Giannis talked and we want what's best for our, the guy that led this franchise to a championship for the first time since Kareem, right? The best player in all of basketball. I think he's second best player, but, to Milwaukee, he's the best player, right? Like, best player in all of basketball, right? We sat down, we talked, and at this stage, it is best for all of us because of, all the uncertainties with this roster, right? You don't really blame Dame, but you kind of blame it on Dame, you know what I mean? We don't know, not blame it on Dame, that's probably the wrong word, not blame it on Dame, but we don't know if Dame's even coming back this year. And even if he does come back with his age, we don't know how old he is. You can't really say that. So, it's just kind of like, hey, with all the uncertainties and the new CBA and all this stuff, we gotta, it's best for Giannis to just move on. And you do it together. Do it amicably. And now, what is anyone going to say, right? Everyone's going to be like, yep, this is the best route because everyone knows it's the best route, right? I mean, again, if you're Giannis, I think that's what you have to do. I get wanting to give the Bucks the opportunity, but here's the problem with that too. Now you make Milwaukee look bad because Milwaukee's not going to be able to do it. two things happen. Either A, Milwaukee's going to go do something that doesn't help, and now they're even more stuck and even worse off, or B, they're not going to do anything, and now Milwaukee's going to look terrible, and everyone's going to be like, oh, Milwaukee had a chance to save Giannis and keep Giannis, but they decided not to. They couldn't pull it off. Incompetency, and it's not that, it's just there's no path to do so. Right? So either A, you're going to end up doing something that's going to hurt you even more than you're already hurt and put you further, sink you deeper into purgatory, or you're going to end up not doing something and now you look like the bad guy. If I'm Milwaukee, I don't want any part of that. Hey, Giannis, let's go get an insane return for you. What can you get for Giannis? What can you get for guys like Bobby Portis? What can you get for all these guys? I would sell everybody. Everybody, whoever you can get, whatever you can get, second rounds for these guys, okay, so be it. And you just go stack as many young players, as much young talent as possible. You're going to get an insane return for Giannis that you, in the Eastern Conference, you might even be able to stay afloat with. And you just kind of, again, stay the course and let things develop, right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.